Men and women probing the unknown blackness of space. Worlds beyond imagination lie.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners.
In an actual darkroom scene, painted everything black and white, went in with the airbrush later, solid red over the whole thing. It got the effect I wanted, but now I'm trying it slightly different here, where I'm putting down the red first, then I'll put the darks on top of that. And, you know, this is the way artists would most normally work, and I always work kind of backward from what people otherwise should do.
We'll return to Star Trek following these messages.
If you're here at Word Balloon, it's because you like comics, creators, conversation, pop culture subjects. Would you consider joining the League of Word Balloon Listeners? Patreon.com/wordballoon. For just $3 a month or more, you'll get exclusive access to the Word Balloon e-magazine, featuring transcriptions of some of my best conversations. When you subscribe, you'll also be part of the Word Balloon Book Club, where Brian Michael Bendis and I will pick a comic every month to review and discuss live with the League on this show. Join the League today, patreon.com/wordballoon. Thank you always for your support, League of Word Balloon listeners. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's time again for another Trek Watch here on Word Balloon. Happy to see everybody ready to play. We got Franco, we got Mitch, we got Wayne, and we are talking about episode 4 of Starfleet Academy. I've got the Latin ready. Vox in Excelso.
Yes. Means
Which
voice
means
on high.
more pepperoni on my pizza. Yes, voice.
No.
Thank you. Voice on high, indeed. Very good.
That's right.
Very good.
Catholic school, buddy.
Right. I've got my list ready, but I won't go first. We can go around the horn. Franco, what'd you think of the episode?
I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, actually. More than I thought I was going to, given what we saw as the preview. I thought it was well written, well done. We'll get into it, but I liked it a lot, actually.
All right. Wayne's microphone is off, just so Wayne knows. So, Mitch, go ahead and you talk.
Oh, it's on now. I defer to the Canadian. Go ahead, Wayne.
I concur with Franco. I liked it. I thought it was a cool episode, and I thought it was well written. Like the character development was there. It was nice.
Okay. I concur with my two fellow Trek Watch colleagues. Thought it was well written. It harkened back to the old days. There was some meaningful storylines in there. They even referred to 2 previous Treks. There was a great speech that Jean-Luc Picard gave back in the day about the forge and the chain and all that stuff. So a little tip of the hat for that little deep cut. And we got to see the Klingons and wonder where they were for the last 800 years. And then they even referred to Praxis and the whole place blown up all the way back to Star Trek 6. So it kind of tied in to that story. So yeah, and that kid that plays Craig, what's his first name? Jaden.
Jaden.
Yeah. The fact that I even know his name now, Jaden, and the other guy is Remy, or like Sam Raimi, that's how I'm thinking of it. the fact that I'm knowing these people's names, they're off to a good start because I actually know everybody, Sam and the whole crew. So I liked it a lot. Best one I've seen so far out of the 4, I think.
Brace yourselves for impact. Okay.
All right, here we go, kids.
Well, exactly. Strap in. I couldn't disagree more, gentlemen. I felt that it was poorly written. I want to point out regarding the quote, because that's fine and it's good. I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I heard the way the doctor said it, and he left out a line, or he left out a word literally. With the first link, the chain is forged. The first speech censured. The first thought forbidden. The first freedom denied. Us all irrevocably is how the doctor said it. Chains us all irrevocably. I realize it's only one word. However, grammatically, I'm like I heard it, and I'm like, and not remembering truly. I'm not that much of a Rain Man where I remembered chapter and verse, but I'm like, that sounded weird. And sure enough, all the other people that have issues with Starfleet Academy pointed out, yeah, they said it wrong. I'm a shock because I had to go back and Zapruder film it to see exactly how they did it. It was a long shot of the doctor when he's misquoting. I have a feeling they edited out chains us. The only reason why I think that's possible, first I wondered if it was a WGA thing, that if they mangled the quote, they wouldn't have to credit Jerry Taylor, by the way, who wrote the drumhead from which that quote comes from. But no, that's not true. If you mangle a quote, you're supposed to still give credit. Maybe there was payment. Maybe there wasn't. I have no idea. More importantly, I kind of think chains us. Oh, that's triggering. Oh, we can't. Why else would they cut the line? It's 1 second, so it's not cut for time.
Did you put the subtitles on? Was it
either that? No, I didn't look on the subtitles, Mitch.
No, I was saying maybe it was just mispronounced or something. Sometime the dialogue. Just curious.
No, not at all, Mitch. The word chains never. I understand the word chains never happened when Robert Picardo was saying it, and again, it's either, wow, you guys really don't look at your scripts, and it passed all the way through to the final, like not even in post-production where they could have fixed it, or they purposely let the word out. I don't understand why, but that bothered me. And then we were off to the races. I didn't buy that Caleb was this master debater, and I found the pun very trite, but I shouldn't expect any less from current Star Trek and Starfleet Academy. I thought there were some good ideas that they could have explored, but they did it in a ham-fisted way. Sticking with Caleb, I understand he spent time in prison, but I don't think he was like practicing the Federation code. That seemed very atypical of his character to suddenly be that much of a debater. And I understand they gave the line, well, you had to learn how to deal with things in prison. I don't think they were quoting Federation regulations to each other in prison. I could be wrong, but I really don't think so. The Klingon solution, BS. First of all, that a student is that engaged in galaxy politics. I think it's good that the kids debated about a real current event issue, but I also thought it was a fake dramatic moment where, hey, let's talk about the Klingon thing. Absolutely not. Come on. You know we're gonna get there. Give me a break. It's filler. It's bad writing, boys. I'm sorry. It just is. But even more so, the solution, a fake battle, I don't think that flies with the Klingon Empire that I know. Sorry. I don't think they fake fights when the stakes are this high. I found that really too cute for its own good. So that bothered me. I'll have more to say, but essentially, those are the big ones right there.
Well, I think the Klingon Empire is on its last leg, and they don't have a pot to piss in and a window to throw it at them, so they had to go along with it. Because they have their pride, and because the Federation remembers the old Klingons, they were just kind of doing it as a courtesy type of thing.
It looks good for them.
A ceremonial thing. Like they know they're not really gonna. They can wipe if they wiped out all those Klingon ships. That would be the end of it. That's literally like that's it. That's all they got left is that like couple of houses and those ships, and they're done.
And now it also brings them into the Federation.
Yeah,
basically.
and they're back again. It's like, yeah, I mean, you throw them a bone. It's like, hey, you guys used to be good, but now this is what you're left with. It's like the British Empire.
No, I understand their motivations.
The whole world.
I just don't think
they don't have anything.
I just don't think it's like. I just don't think. No, nobody's faking a war. Yeah, but Mitch, nobody's faking a war with the British Empire or whatever's left. Of the British
remember
Empire.
The Falklands War?
I understand the Federation. Yeah, but that was real, Mitch. That was real.
Oh, I know, buddy.
They sent down fighter planes to.
I saw the magazine.
Well, there you go.
A bunch of sheep.
So that's not a good comparison. I'm sorry.
Well,
I think the Federation ships were more advanced than the Klingon ships. So
oh, yeah.
Even whatever the Klingons were firing, they weren't getting through the shields. So
no, it even said 95%. It did nothing.
Right. Yeah, I understand. No, again, I understand the power differential. I understand all that. I just don't buy it as a solution. That is what I'm saying, and I want that clear. Also, I think it was a little too cute to introduce the idea that Klingons have three-people couples or thruples. I don't even know what the right word is, but it would seem to me like I could see gay Klingons, sure, but it would seem to me that if there are two men and one woman, that's a natural like battle for dominance. And also, Dad too, did he even have a line? I mean, I didn't see the point of adding that to the Klingon society. And again, I thought it was just too cute. What
are you talking about?
Hey, look what we're doing. And it's just like, okay, fine. But then Jaden
I don't know if you saw that
and made that very clear. And beyond the brother. Go ahead.
Well, was that absolutely like, was it implied? Because I don't know if I saw that. I just read it as these Klingons are so fractured and they're trying to basically hold things together any way they can. So they've clumped together in these clans or clumps. And the whole reasoning for the father missing the bird and letting him go, and that explanation was real to me, and it helped explain a lot in terms of the Klingon honor, what they've been through up until now, and them getting to the planet and the so-called fake fight was to it was all explained. It was to help them hold their honor and tradition. And the fact that this kid went on the debate stage and was against it, but then came up with the solution after having talked to the his half Klingon cadet master, made sense to me. It made sense story-wise. It made sense in the terms of, these Klingons, we haven't seen them in so long, and they're so fractured and so not the empire they once were, that they're really trying to hold on to anything to survive. And the one thing they have is their honor. And that's how I read it. I didn't see this from how you're seeing it.
Well, it was documented by the person. I'm sorry, Mitch, if I may, let me answer that. It was documented by the writer of the episode that this is a LGBTQ plus person and wanted to introduce the idea of two fathers and one mother. I'm fine with a clan obviously grouping together to support each other in a very dire situation. They took it one step further and then did nothing with it. It's tokenism, guys. I'm sorry. I think it's, hey, look, look how progressive we are. And then, well, what are you going to do? They did nothing with it. But
maybe
there could have been two fathers.
Maybe like the human race is like that. There's so many people. There's thruples. There's people who are in have many wives or a couple of husbands, or to each their own. I don't understand how seeing this one family that's like this expands out to to the whole Klingon race.
I didn't pick up on any of that. I thought it was just like their uncle that was with the
I don't
family. I was like, okay, it was just
Yeah.
another guy. Like, especially growing up here,
Well,
I don't know
but
where you guys live, but
well,
there's always this house where you have like your mother, your father, and then maybe like Uncle so and so just lives in the house, and somebody, and it's
yeah,
just that's
sure.
the family unit.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
all right, and there's not a lot of them, and like you
right.
said, they're tribal now. They're out there struggling to live. So I'm like, they got to be with whoever they could be. That's it. There's no planet.
Yeah, no, no, no.
They're
Again,
wanderers, man. They're
but
nomads.
that's not two fathers. But Mitch, that's not two fathers, Mitch. And again, I'm not
Bro,
saying
you
that
know
it's
what?
not
I got to, John.
possible.
I don't
I
know.
just don't.
I didn't waste 2 seconds of that on any of that. I watched this whole episode, enjoyed it thoroughly. I didn't even realize until you brought this up. I'm like, dude,
Well,
sometimes you bring
I
stuff
didn't.
to the show that I never see. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm
That's
watching a
fine.
different program,
That,
but
no,
I
that's
don't know.
fine. And I also don't think I don't think people were maybe people just didn't like notice the difference in the quote that the doctor made. The only point I'm making, guys, is that there is a Klingon history of very aggressive masculine behavior. And to me, if you actually, I understand. I come from a family where uncles lived with our family for periods of time. So I get that, but this wasn't an uncle. This was another father. And what I don't understand is that to me flies in the face of what the Klingons represent. That's the thing that I have a problem with. I could care less what anybody's lifestyle is. That's fine. But it just feels like there are specific things going on in specific societies in Star Trek that have been a certain way for 60 years. And now all of a sudden, this just seemed to come out of the blue with no follow up to show what instead of the brother dying, maybe one of the other fathers could have died and could have been one father doesn't understand me, one father does understand me. They didn't do that. It's just, hey, look, two dads, moving on. And again, it's not Paul Reiser and Greg Evigan, my two dads. You know, it's
Yeah.
I
didn't get that at all.
It's an odd choice.
Yeah.
And again, well, again, the writer himself said that was the intent.
Yeah,
So-
but what the writers, what I
Take
found with these Star Trek writers, what they
Definitely
say and
will.
what actually comes across isn't always the same. I didn't find that. It's just like we're dealing with 900 years in the future from Star Trek. Cultures change over that time. I didn't even get any implication that the fathers were gay or anything. It's just this is just a family unit with two males and one female, and that's it. And
I don't know how that works.
and
I don't know how that works in a Klingon situation.
No, I think of it
No,
like
but-
when you see the lion. Well, if you watch even like the freaking Lion King, which is aimed at kids, there was the head lion that ran the whole thing, and then there was a couple other male, but he wasn't the dominant one. And then
That's not-
all the people
That's
looked up.
not,
Maybe that's how.
that's not what this is.
Well, how
Mitch,
do you know
that's
that?
not what this. No, Mitch, I'm sorry. Those are marked because Mitch, the woman who wrote this, the person, excuse me, because I believe they identify as they said in an article this was the intent. It isn't Scar from the Lion King. It isn't Uncle Goofy living upstairs in the house because Uncle Goofy's on hard times right now. My two dads, my fathers. And
But
again,
let
the
me
only reason
pose
why I'm hitting
this
it is
question to you,
it seems
Johnny.
like
Even
it's
if
a
it
fly in the face of what Klingons represent.
Okay, but let me ask you this question. Say that is the intent that by the writer, and that's what they wanted to get across. What does it matter to this story that the family unit is like this, other than that he didn't get along with his biological dad? They're so far in the future that cultures change, things fracture, they don't have them there. What difference does it make? So they wanted to put that in there, it's in there, but what relevance does it have to do the story? And if it is in there, why do you care?
Because it had no relevance to the story. That's exactly my point. That they did nothing with it. That is my point, and that it again.
That's my
flies in
point.
the face
Why do they
of
have to do
the way
something with it?
Klingons see that.
well, you know what, John? Just let's.
Well, what was the point of putting it in?
Okay, if we're strictly speaking Klingons, if we go back to the original series, all they were conniving individuals. We didn't know anything about honor till TNG. So when TNG rewrote what the Klingons are, we didn't get all upset that all of a sudden they are all about honor. So now that we're dealing with a new generation of Klingons, why should we be so upset that they're redefining what the Klingon culture is in this particular universe at this particular time, when we didn't care about what they rewrote the history of the Klingons back in the in TNG versus the Klingons from the TOS? Go ahead, John. Yeah, go.
Because in TNG, I'm going, relax. Also, you know something, I will come back and make my point because I think, again, I'm on a delay. I don't know why.
You are.
Yeah, my feeling is that if they're there and represented by that, like, why can't that be shown? And it's just there as a matter of fact. No, I understand, but I'm just carrying on the conversation.
Oh, okay. No, I honestly, I didn't even know it happened until he brought it up tonight. I go, did I miss that?
Honestly, neither did I. But now that he did bring it up, I'm thinking, well, what difference does it make? If that's family unit, why, that's the family unit. That's fine.
I was watching the story about the kid that wanted to be into medicine and not a warrior, and I thought that was a good thing. And the father missing that bird because he loved him, and that was his way of telling him to go on. I thought that was a great story. I thought it was very well written. It was very poignant. I'm like, that's a father's son. When you got kids, sometimes they don't follow in dad's footsteps. They don't go into the same restaurant. They don't want dad's job, and they go on their own. And reluctantly, if you love them, you let them go. And that's what happened.
But it also brought in the honor of the Klingons as well.
Yeah.
He didn't kill the bird because he's setting his son free.
And he gave him a little kick in the ass too, because that's what they do. It's tough love.
The kid misinterpreted that, and he's like, oh, they abandoned me. But he's like, no, that was his way of saying. Now Johnny's back, so let him make his point about it. Yeah, go for it.
Let's go, John.
Okay. My point being that in Next Generation, you're right. They made one-dimensional Klingons. They gave them depth, and they didn't just say honor and blow off and never hear about honor again. I realize this is the first time we're seeing this generation's Klingons, but to make such a drastic thing, I think it is important, like they did when they introduced honor and the whole Klingon backstory. You got examples of it. You saw it. You saw it in Heart of Glory the first time you saw the Klingons in that first season of Next Generation. They explained it. This wasn't explained. And again, I think it is a radical move compared to the Klingons, the traditional Klingons. Also, I don't understand why it was Kalis for decades and now it's Kalish and Kronosh. That wasn't Holly Hunter saying that and with her crap in her mouth. That was everybody else. So that was weird.
But John, that's stories that are being carried down the ages.
I was going to say, maybe it lost in translation.
It's a telephone thing all over again.
Okay.
If you're upset about the pronunciation, if you're upset about the pronunciation of things and can't use that as an excuse as being passed down through the generations, then you can't accept anything, because you obviously can't accept this family unit, and you can't accept the way that they're pronouncing stuff. Is you want everything to stay the same.
I think there are.
It's so far in the future, generations in the future. The Jem'Hadar and the Klingon have made it, and they have this cadet master now. There's so many things that have changed, Johnny.
It will be interesting to see how much of this stuff sticks when we go into a new era of Star Trek. It's that simple, boys. Back to the story itself.
Yeah,
this is the new era.
Yeah. We're almost done with this era, Mitch. I don't know if you've been keeping score. Kurtzman doesn't look like he's getting a new contract, and they're getting two new guys to do movies. And I don't know if they're going to do TV right away. So no, this era is ending. It may not end until next year, but it's ending.
But for the first time in future Burnham land, I'm interested in what's happening. So
that's awesome. That's great.
Starfleet Academy has got me interested in this future world of Star Trek that I was not even remotely interested in with Burnham. So, for me, so far it's been 4 for 4, and it's been good. And each character has been developed through, and even the a-hole who's fish head, comes through with some human moments, and And
Sure.
they all have characteristics that I'm interested in learning about more and seeing where it takes them. When they are out in space and doing this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, let's see what kind of intergalactic space battle they get into, or what happens here when they took the ship up, in this episode. But it all made sense why they were there, what they were doing, with the one Klingon cadet in Starfleet, proposing this thing, and they weren't sure if it was going to work, but he's Klingon and he knows honor and he knows his family, so he convinced them to look at it from the Klingon point of view, which made a lot of sense to me. That's all I'm saying.
Here's one for
Again,
you. Did you
good
think
idea.
that Holly?
Go ahead.
Did you think that Holly Hunter could have survived a sexual encounter with that Klingon based on what we know? No, I'm asking you a question because you're going to adhere so much to the strict Klingon Star Trek Bible. Years ago, I can't think of the episode, but I do recall at one point when they saw Worf and he met a female Klingon, and Geordi goes, "Worf, is this how you people make love or something? Is this sex?" Remember, it was like the first season, and they were smelling each other and sniffing like dogs, growling and stuff like that, and biting. And he goes, "Is this what it is to you?" And I could have swore there was one episode where they said you would never, or Worf said you couldn't survive mating, and that's why it was weird when he went with Troy. I'm like, how does she manage to survive?
And he was with Dax too, so it's not
No, but I'm
Worf
asking
is
Johnny.
all over the universe.
Does Johnny think Holly Hunter's character had an affair with that Klingon dude that showed up at some
Yeah, of
point?
course.
Or
Of course, that's
okay.
Yeah, of course, that's what they were saying. Of course, that was.
All right, but you have no problem with that though, because he's a
No,
big
of course
dude. He
not.
can throw
No, of
room.
course not.
Okay.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Yeah, but Worf could have broke Jadzia in two as well, and Ezri for that matter. He got with Ezri as well. Ezri's about Aki's size, so sure.
But Worf was raised by humans, so might have tempered him down a bit.
Yeah,
I don't know. Regardless, no, that didn't. No, of course it didn't bother me. That's what I'm saying, guys. The ideas don't bother me. It's the execution. The idea of we got to figure out what to do to get the Klingons back. That should have almost been almost a season-long mini plot, or And I know they're busy with Paul Giamatti and whatever they're going to do. It just seemed too pat and just we're done. And I understand that a lot of episodes of Star Trek end this way, but this is the Klingon Empire. And I mean, even the Beta Z thing, I suppose, but that was a little more gentler, and you're not dealing with Klingons, so I could see that being wrapped up in one. And I also, once again, one of the famous Trek alien races are refugees. Gee, that hasn't happened. Oh wait, yes, it did, with the Romulans in Picard and the Kelvin movies. It's like I'm sorry, they don't have that big of an idea book, guys. It's that simple.
No, I thought it was good that they followed up on that line from Star Trek 6 where he said the Klingon Empire only has 300 years of life left in it. I was like, oh shit, that's a plot line I never thought about. And then well, what happened? And now you're 800 years in the future, or whatever it is, 900. And then you go, oh, I guess they never recovered from the planet blowing up in number 6. So I'm like,
no, that's not true. They said in the episode, Mitch, it was the burn that caused the dilithium on Kronos. Praxis was a moon that they were doing fuel refinery. This had to do with Kronos. And
they said I would have loved to have seen Kronos in its time or something like that. And I was thinking, well, that must mean that the whole place is going to hell ever since whatever happened.
I don't know. They haven't filled that out. Also, once again, the doctor chicken shit, and then he gets lousy with the kid. That's like, hey, should you talk like that? Well, maybe someday you'll have the privilege to talk. And it's like, hey, didn't you just give a speech about freedom of speech and everything? And now you're telling this kid to watch what he says? Whatever. Again, they don't pay attention to their own scripts. They're bad writers, guys. They think they're writing these lofty ideas, and they're not good writers. They've got an 8th grade education when it comes to trying to be lofty in these things.
What I don't understand is how we see this so differently. Yeah. Like these episodes to me have been a far cry from what we got in Discovery, and we had a mutual hate for Discovery. We really did. I thought they were not good. They didn't know where they were going. But this one, I I had my doubts, Johnny, and
that's cool.
From the get-go, you and I have been on opposite ends of this, just like we were with Orville. And I happen to think that I'm right in both of those instances. So
well, that's good, Franco. I think I'm right too, and it's fun. We're both right. But regardless, no. But again, that's okay. I'm not trying to convince you guys otherwise.
And also, I
absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. This is much better than Discovery. That goes without saying. We know who these characters are. The relationships are established. All the broad strokes are there, and that is a positive. It's not enough. For me, it's not enough. We've been getting fed bad characterization and story for so long, even in Strange New Worlds at times, that I expect better. I don't buy the idea that, well, this is just the 4th episode, so be patient. Their clock is running. If they didn't think they had a moral imperative to get more people into this, and I still see a divided audience, and it doesn't need to be that way. And I don't buy this. Well, this Trek isn't for you. Star Trek was universal for a very, very long time. These guys have chosen to not do that, to go so far in getting a young audience and being radical with just setting it so modern that it takes away the verisimilitude of buying the future that they're trying to present to us. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at times. And again, when they do try to honor past Trek, like with the debate quote, again, well, they don't know how to pronounce Kronos from the 24th century, but they sure remember this guy's quote verbatim, the admiral and everything that they quote. I mean, it's I'm sorry. I think
they didn't remember verbatim. That's what your point was.
Yes, that's what. Well, yeah, but they tried. Right. They tried. They almost did it. Kronos. I don't know. I
think, and I'm not. I know I'm not going to convince you either, but I think you're being like very myopic in picking out these little things that I think overall the stories are good. You brought up this kid Caleb, being an excellent debater, but way back in the first episode, Holly Hunter's character says this kid's a genius, and then they go through and explain that he's been in prison and he's read these Starfleet logs and stuff like that are voluminous and stuff like that because he spent so much time in prison and stuff, so he can do this. I mean, they explain it, and being a story guy and someone who writes stories, you set up and pay off, and that's right. What it's about, and they seem to be doing it with these episodes. I like the characters. I know most of their names, whereas in 5 years of Discovery, I'll belabor this point over and over again. I didn't know all their names on the crew. I know more than half of these guys. I know I think I know how they're going to act in some situations, and it's surprising when they don't. And I think that's good writing as well. You and I see this totally differently from polar opposite ends, but I'm liking the show.
That's cool. Let's see. JD is saying that the show is really bad. Whatever. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm not putting. I'm only putting it up.
I want to know how, but yeah,
it's a fresh quote. I'm not looking. Right. I don't need allies. I know that I represent a portion of the Trek loving audience that is frustrated with this show. So I'm very comfortable disagreeing. And again, it's fine. That's great. Again, I want you guys to look forward to coming on and talking about this. I look forward to pointing out these things that don't make sense to me. But
I also Poppy. Sorry. Go ahead, John.
I was just going to show a quote.
Yeah, no, I read that. That's when Quark said about having sex with humans would kill you. Yep.
Yeah.
Again, the time that Caleb spent in prison, they used the word prison. It could also have been a Starfleet or a Federation re-education center too. So, and being a child that's living on his own and is supposedly a genius, because that's what Holly Hunter says, he's a genius. He'd want to learn how to game the system. How do you game the system? You learn all the rules and regulations to game the system.
But they show that too, Wayne. They show that he games the system by reprogramming the robot to bring him food, and he hoards food, and he does all this other stuff. So it's all explained in the characterization. So it makes sense.
We can see it. We don't need it. We don't need it like slammed over our heads that this is why this person is. They're giving you the nuggets of what each of these people are, and
I understand that they're saying and giving you reasons why. To me, they don't match up with the characterization of Caleb that we've gotten. I'm okay with him being a hacker and knowing how to screw around with things like that got him out of the jam in the first episode, or reprogramming the robots to bring him food or whatever. The regulation thing, and especially the regulations they were quoting, doesn't seem to jive with somebody on their own looking for an edge to survive. So while I understand they explained it, Wayne, I don't buy their explanation.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, that's okay. Again,
I see it differently.
Yeah,
I'm like that's a student of the game, learning how to game the system. How if I'm ever caught by these Federation people, how do I get around it? What are their rules and regulations, and how do I get around it? But okay.
But he was like citing past cases that would support his debate arguments, various regulations.
He's a genius. He could also have an eidetic memory.
I don't know what that. I don't know what those had to do with the kind of knowledge he would need to survive on the street.
But John, if he has an eidetic memory, everything that he consumes, and we don't
Nobody
need
said
to know that
eidetic
he
memory.
has. What?
Nobody said eidetic memory.
No, but do you have to say that? No. But I'm saying if he's a genius,
no, he can have Wayne. He can have an aptitude to get to do everything they've shown him doing. Absolutely. I just don't believe this aspect that they are imprinting on him. It seems to conflict with all the other skills he's shown at this point. Here we go. Ashton likes it. Says not as much as Deep Space Nine or TNG, but I like it as much as Enterprise, at least so far. Very good, Ashton.
I would agree with that sentiment.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, I'm finding like Franco says, you know the characters. Like if you can remember the characters' names, I know we call him Reggie, and I think that's because once we imprinted a name on a person, we're stuck with Fish Boy, Reggie, whatever you want, bad guy.
Commodore A-hole.
We'll start saying his actual name later on, but it's because you're going, oh my God, it is the Archies. And this is Archie, this is Betty, this is Veronica.
He's no Crystal Balls. That was a good one.
Crystal Balls. That's a good one. Yeah.
Crystal Balls. Yeah.
I really like the story of Jaden. But I was texting you guys during the week, and the last episode where he was speaking, his voice sounded very modulated to me. Yeah. And I sent you guys all these things, and I'm like, there's something weird with his voice. And then I sent you that interview that I found with him, and I sent it, and they're like, oh, they're modulating my voice or something. I'm like, I knew it. And I was waiting for it this episode, and there was none. That was weird, right? Like it just because he in that clip I sent you, he was talking and he lowers the register of his voice. But then they had added other stuff to it. They didn't do that in this episode. It was just his lower voice.
I didn't notice. I didn't notice
and stuff. So, but overall, I liked his story. But yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say I've heard some people complain that they don't like how deliberate his words are. But I think that's okay because English is a second language.
He's not speaking Klingonese. Yeah.
So I accept that. That doesn't bother me.
It also would help him trying to hit those lower registers to enunciate the words separately.
Yeah.
Not like Shatner.
I just didn't buy.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, Shatner's his own, of course. No, I didn't buy his transformation from flop sweat to impassioned orator. I just think good ideas, but maybe again, if this had been a C plot that they were seeding, and then a couple episodes from now, things really come to head with the Klingons. Okay, we got to deal with it. Now I hope they'll come back and flesh more of this Klingon society out. I suspect they won't have time because we still have to get Sam's story, which I believe is next week. And and Darum is Fish Boy's real name. I believe it's Darren.
Yeah,
but yeah, and
I don't know what else more to say about this episode, but except for as a viewer, when you're watching these things, you need to bring a lot of yourself and your own emotions to play when you're watching something like this. And in these 4 weeks or these 4 episodes, it's resonated with me, and I've liked where they've gone, what they've done. It's obvious you don't, and that's, again, fine. We're arguing the merits here, but I think they're doing a good job of, this is so far in the future from what we know. They left so much out of Discovery that I wanted to know, because remember when we were talking about this, when they were flung into the future, I'm like, okay, maybe now we'll learn something about this crew, we'll learn something fun, and we didn't. It was the Michael Burnham show, which I disliked very much.
Agreed.
But here we're starting to see some of what I thought we would get then, and it's resonating with me. And I like what they're doing with the Klingons. I like what they did with the Beta Zeds. I like these kids. It could have gone so wrong. It could have been very Saved by the Bell. It could have been, Saved by the Bell in space, but it's not. And I'm enjoying what I'm finding so far.
I think the problem, and it is a problem with how we're creating shows today, is done with so few episodes to give characters a chance to breathe, to develop, that we have to take it into account that you're only going to get 1 episode for a full development, or almost a complete development of an individual. You're not going to have the 26 episodes that you did to be able to flesh out characters. And the writing, I don't know. Again, John, I don't know what to say about what you're missing, but Franco.
Well,
we both taught.
Franco.
But we both taught at different points in our time, and I don't know. When I saw the doctor sort of going up and down, it reminded me when I was teaching accounting, going up and down the aisles talking to my students. I related to that. Like you were saying, can I relate to this? And I can relate to Starfleet Academy because I spent 8 years teaching accounting at a college level. I also, when I was in my profession, I also provided guidance to individuals that were a few years behind me on how to do things in what I can't talk about. But I provided guidance, and I can feel that. I can feel that with the Holly Hunter character. I can feel that with all the different, the mentors, the teachers, and it's just interesting. That's why I think that's why I'm gravitating towards this series a lot, is because it's bringing me back to when I was teaching and how fun it was at the time I was teaching, and and doing that little thing, putting little ideas in their heads. I remember doing that with people. And I don't know. Sorry, John, go ahead.
I also, John, before you answer, please. I agree 100% with you, Wayne, but I also think there's elements of Star Trek here that we love, because we're way back original series, Star Trek people, and there's those elements in here that are making this Star Trek for me. So yes, I'm resonating it with all those levels. But go ahead, John. Sorry.
Go ahead, John.
No, not at all. What I was going to say is regarding the writing. Where I think it's lacking, yes, they do only have 10 episodes a season. I can think of a lot of really good dramas right now that have the same 10 episodes a season, and they flesh out their characters. A great example is The Diplomat, the Kerry Russell show. And the reason why I bring that up is the writing on that is exceptional. And they, with just as little real estate, managed to flesh out the Prime Minister of England, her counterpart from Great Britain, other ambassadors, chief of staff of the president herself, all these other characters, and they do a great job of doing it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm used to Star Trek being at Peabody Award level writing, and I don't see exceptional writing. I see pedestrian writing. I see things that, yes, they connect. A plus B equals C. Whether you agree with what A and B stand for, that's what they're giving us. I concede all that. I just think my Star Trek used to be smarter. I don't think this is smart Star Trek. I see it recognizable from a school standpoint and can appreciate both of the teachers here gravitating towards that. That's fine. That's cool. But again, I just don't see really smart television being written for Star Trek, and haven't since Kurtzman took over.
I think I disagree with you here, but I can see your point. The Diplomat is an amazing show and has an amazing writing staff, and just like that thing's firing on all cylinders.
And I can think of other shows as well. We're going to talk about Wonder Man, and Wonder Man was delightful.
I loved, by the way.
That was
I loved it. Yeah, it was
See,
great.
everybody perked up. We're all like, yeah.
For a show that you didn't expect anything.
Yeah, exactly. Took a D
and you're
class.
going, oh, it's just another Marvel show. We're gonna have some fun.
But you know what?
I think throw some references, and then you're going, holy cow.
Yeah.
Not to throw shade on you at all, Johnny. Honestly, that's not what I'm doing here, because we disagree on the show.
Okay.
But I think maybe that's what's happening, because we all loved Wonder Man because we had no expectations of it. I think with this show, with Star Trek, you have such high expectations of what you think it should be, that you don't see a good episode when it's there. My opinion, not that I'm saying that's how you feel. I'm just,
I understand.
No, what I'm seeing from it.
But you're right. I do have different expectations because there's been 60 years of Star Trek. That's why there's still 60 years. So yes, there are like I said, I do expect more because it always engaged me on an intellectual level. I don't see that in this show, guys. I'm glad you're satisfied with it and even are intrigued by the ideas, if I can presume that you are, by some of the things they're introducing. I am not. And again, that's okay. We can still live together. It's all right. We've always had the love boat.
We live in different cities, which is why I think we get along. But
virtually. So here, wait a minute, Ashton has a comment. Sorry, guys, it's my stupid internet.
Yeah. John, I agree. It's not Peabody level, but
I agree. It's
Trek
not Peabody
reached
level.
Those heights in a while, even back to the Berman era, is what he's saying. I could see that maybe, but I don't know. I feel like this show has more.
Well, 94 was the year. I would point out that 94 was that height for Star Trek because they had Generations coming out. Next Gen ended and did quite well. I don't see any writing nominations for awards from this era of Star Trek. I did back in the Berman era.
No,
there wasn't as many shows on TV back.
I was just going to say, there's not.
Yeah.
There's many shows.
3 networks and syndication.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't be upset if this had more episodes per season, or if they went more seasons with this show, if they keep up the level of what they're doing here. We all liked Strange New Worlds in the first season, and then second season it was So we'll see, but so far I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm looking forward to Star Trek, where I haven't been in a little bit, but yeah.
Let's stick with Wonder Man though, guys, and because I don't understand, given how good the show was, it's almost like why did Disney release them all in one clump like that?
I was surprised too. I was like,
but you know what? I'm kind of glad they did because it made the show better.
Yeah,
I think if I had to wait week to week, I don't know that I would have been as interested.
Yeah,
it was talk about a short show. They were like half-hour episodes mostly, and they were so well done and so well written that I'm like, oh, let's see what happens. I finished them all in one night, which
I know, right?
Yeah,
I think they did it all at once because think about it. If it was week to week and you got people to jump on board, imagine if they jumped onto that black and white episode 4 with Doorman. And people would have been like, I don't know what's going on here. And they would have just left. So by putting it all at once, you didn't have time to forget about it. And you're like, oh, all right. So
that was a great solo episode, too. That was amazing.
Yeah. And another D class. I'm like, oh my God, Doorman? We're talking about the bottom of the barrel now.
I never
a real character, believe it or not. That's somebody said that's made up.
Oh, no, I know. Great Lakes
Marvel character.
Yeah, Great Lakes Avengers.
He introduced his brother Eric. And you were
that's right. The
Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper's in it, yeah. That's a stretch. But no. And then it's Ben Kingsley. He's an actor. Every time he sees the word actor.
Great.
Actor. Oh, it's great. He was fantastic. Cracked me
I
up.
lo-
That episode where they're at that kid's house and they're making the candy. I'm not gonna ruin it if you don't watch it, dude. I was on the ground laughing my ass off. Like bullets are flying, the cops are out there, and he's doing this whole bit, and then he goes, "Oh, hold on, we've got a callback," and it's just so freaking nuts. You're like, what? And then I'm like, I could watch this guy all day. I wish to God that he was doing more of these things, you know. So
it was just great. It was
But guys, on that show,
it was a good character arc for everyone on that show from beginning to end. Because I'm like, all right, where are they going to wind up with this? Are they gonna give us the hokey superhero, type action and and really kill the vibe of everything that's going on? But they stuck the landing, I think. No, I mean they had to, Johnny. I mean it's a Marvel show, so they had to do that. But I think they really stuck the landing with the ending and showing what friendship is and everything. I thought it was really
because Simon didn't have any friends, and Slattery was his only friend.
Yeah, it was Ratso Rizzo, buddy. That's right. The two of them together. And that's why I was telling
you. Yeah, exactly.
Lunch, I was like, oh, it's their
Talk
version
about foreshadowing.
Yeah, Midnight Cowboy. They meet in the movie Midnight Cowboy. They even played a song at the end to hit you over the head with. And somebody goes, oh, I never saw Midnight Cowboy. I'm like, well, you're a fucking idiot. What do you want me to tell you? It's a good movie.
You know what? You don't have to, because they explain
exactly but it adds another layer to it if you do know some of the background. Just like Taxi Driver, if you see the Joker, you think that's original, then you watch Taxi Driver, like, hey, wait a minute, this is that movie. Or if you watch 3 Men in a 3 Days of the Condor, 3 Men in a Condor, that's another movie. But no, and then you go to watch The Winter Soldier, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, they took that from this, and they can't trust anybody. Robert Redford's the Chris Evans, Captain America. Oh, so I mean, you can enjoy them for what they are, but if you go a little deeper and have some history to your viewing, you go, oh, I get what they're doing here.
See, that's smart writing, Mitch.
That is clever.
That's smart writing.
Because I doubt any 20-year-old kid's going to know what the hell the freaking Midnight Cowboy is or care.
Exactly.
You know? But it was great.
So is that it now until Doomsday?
No, you got Spider-Man coming out.
Oh, no. Daredevil.
Spider-Man's in July.
Right, and Daredevil, the TV show.
I believe
March.
WandaVision.
There's a Punisher one-shot movie comes out right when Spider-Man comes out. So,
right. Isn't there like a Wanda Vision something happening before?
Oh, the Vision shows in the fall. With the White Vision. Yeah, with Paul Bettany. Yep. Okay. So there's a couple, and I think that's the last show. Yeah, I think that's the last Marvel TV thing for a long time. So,
interesting.
Yeah. They're not spending money on that anymore. Well, you could have done this. There was no money in this, really. There's a couple special effects, but overall, it's just two guys. I mean, you didn't spend a lot on big sets.
Yeah, but the problem was, as you know, during the Chapek era, they put too much product out. So now they do have to pull back to make it special. Same thing with Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, got too ordinary.
It just goes to prove the point that if you populate the show with really good actors and you have good writing, you have to, you don't have to do a lot of anything to have that show really pop. So Wonder Man does. Right. Star Trek does for me, Johnny. Star Trek.
Go back to that. Beat that horse.
Yeah. Well, again, you're wrong about the Orville and you're wrong about Star Trek. That's okay.
I'm kicking myself because they offered me Yahya Abdul Mateen II, who plays Wonder Man 3 years ago, because he's the guy from
Aquaman,
Black Manta and Aquaman. I remember they called me. They go, "Do you want that guy?" I go, "Who?" They go, "Yeah, he's Black Manta." I go, "Oh, Black Manta was a cool character, but the movie I thought sucked, so I passed on him." And I'm like, "Oh." Plus, he was Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen HBO series, so he's been around.
I totally didn't recognize him from that. He was amazing in Watchmen.
Yep.
Wow.
So he's got 3 comic book creds.
Good for him.
Now he's this.
No, he was
and then
great.
People go, "Oh, is he going to be in Doomsday?" I go, "I hope not. Let it just go off. You don't need to know what happens to them. It'd be like, isn't that cool? They're off on their own. God knows, maybe they're making movies in South America now or something like that. You don't need to know where he ended up."
Because, I don't want to know what kind of movies they're making, but
but I'm just saying though, you don't always have to have a.
Karen Page made movies down there, and it didn't work out well for her.
Maybe he's over in Spain making spaghetti westerns. That'd be kind of cool, you know. Yes, Daredevil's coming back next month.
Did you like the trailer If you're going to acknowledge it, read it right.
Yes, I like the trailer. It's good.
Thank you.
It shows him
There
in the
you
black
go. Adam.
costume. Kingpin's in it. We're good. We're good.
Foggy. We'll see if Foggy's alive or not.
Flashbacks with Foggy. Yeah.
I think Foggy's
Oh,
alive.
I don't know. I was going to say, I think so too, Wayne. Yeah.
I think Karen hit him.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Because
wouldn't
Matt's
Daredevil?
just
Yep.
no,
When
because his
when you
heart
hear
could
the
have gone.
heartbeat, huh?
He didn't hear the heartbeat, but then Superman didn't hear the heartbeat either to Dark Knight.
Batman, the Dark Knight.
Yep. So
Maybe.
I think
Also,
he did die,
Sherlock.
and they brought him back.
Sherlock
and then
cut off his
and Karen,
circulation.
and Karen just hit him away because Matt's. You don't want to be around Matt. Matt is just nothing but a big ball of danger.
Catholic guilt.
Yeah. Oh,
All the danger.
so Daredevil is in March. So it's
March
coming in March
24th.
24th.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Vision Quest is late 26.
There you go. Vision
And your
Quest.
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is also late 26. Those are
Oh, the
your
cartoon.
TVs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cartoon. We're in phase whatever. We're in too many phases.
What else is on Disney Plus after? Oh, well, they got a Star Wars thing coming up.
Oh yeah, Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, with Sam Witwer.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that. I thought he was excellent as his voice acting doing
left.
Darth Maul.
You must be yelling on another Star Trek show.
But no, I thought he was really good playing Darth Maul. I love his.
Wait a minute. I just had a thought. What if there's an episode that comes up and Johnny likes it and all three of us hate it? I think that's
that's
a sign
what's
of
gonna
the
That's the
happen.
mirror universe.
I know it'll be like the Mirror one. We'll all come on clean shaven and John will have a beard. So Johnny, what are we gonna do if you come on and love an episode and we hate it? It'll be a mutiny. It'll be like, oh God, no.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
No, it's good that we
Could
disagree.
they-
It's a more
Could they make one
it's-
now? Could they actually pull one out in the last 6 episodes that you think would be
Sure they
good?
can. Of course they
Even
can.
though they've laid the groundwork so
This-
far and you
Boys, supposedly the 5th episode is supposed to be the holy crap episode that, oh no, you really have to hang out until episode 5. I look forward to be proven wrong.
That's
this
the next
week's
episode, right?
with Sam? That's
the
gonna be
coming
the
episode.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well,
I
it
had
said
never heard
something.
it.
I read the what do you call it, like the TV guide thing, and it said she reveals like a history of the Federation or something that's been missing for years. She discovers something. I'm like, well, what the hell would she know? I mean, I don't know.
You don't remember from the trailers of her looking at the screen about the mystery of Benjamin Sisko?
Oh no shit! Is that what's going to be on Cisco?
I don't
that'd
know.
be cool.
Yeah, it could be.
That would be great. He's never coming on. but sure.
If Avery Brooks walks out of the wormhole and says, "Hi, everybody, I'm back," I will be amazed.
Wow.
That ain't gonna ever happen. So
I don't think so either, Mitch. We'll see. All I know is
why can't they get another actor to play Cisco? Honestly,
I've been saying that for years. I mean,
they
if
got
I
other
may-
actors playing Kirk and everybody else. Spock.
Sure.
Why not get another guy? I mean, it
Sure.
would suck, but
but regardless, no, everyone who got 6 episodes in advance of Starfleet Academy, everyone, like all the positive people are like, yeah, listen, I know some people are gonna have issues with the first couple, but episode 5, you got to stick around for that one. So we'll
All
find
right.
out. We'll see. What
And
about the
it's-
Beauty, guys? What about the Beauty on Disney and Hulu? Are you
I haven't watched it
I
yet.
don't know.
Haven't
What
watched
is that?
Well, I guess me and JD have watched it, and it's
I
excellent.
heard it's real
It really
good.
is
Yeah, I heard it's real good, but I haven't watched it yet.
What is it? A murder mystery or something?
No, it's
Go ahead, Jen.
okay, because I've actually seen it.
What is
It's about a drug that is created that if you inject it, it makes you beautiful. But there's a street version of the drug that's inferior, and it's causing people to explode.
Oh,
And Ashton Kutcher is the pharmaceutical guy that has created the beer, or at least his company has. He's like the Elon Musk. But it is so of the moment between Musk and Ozempic and all this other stuff, and also coming off of the substance last year with Body Odor.
I was going to
it's-
say, isn't that the Demi Moore movie?
No, that's
No
the
way?
substance. That's the
Yeah, but
substance.
isn't that the whole thing? You rip off, you become
It's
pretty again.
different. It's very different. It's very
Yeah,
different.
it's based on the Jeremy Hahn book.
Right, Jeremy Hahn's comic book, yes. And Ryan Murphy, who's done all these great shows for FX over the years and Hulu, he's the one who adapted it, and he wrote all 12 episodes, and he directed the first couple.
It sounds like Paul Gulacy's comic book from the 70s. Was it called Paradox, where there was a street drug that people were taking it, and if you didn't take it right, you exploded into flames? Yeah, it was called Paradox.
It was in the Marvel magazines.
Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, Super Specials. It was
wow.
a magazine, black and white, 1978.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Gulacy. It was a street drug, and if you took it wrong, you just burst into flames. So,
Jeremy's original idea was that it was an STD that was causing people, and they didn't burst into flames. They I don't even know how to describe it. But so that bursting into flames is the FX version of it, and again ties much more to an Ozempic analogy than it just being an STD that's out there. And they did 30 issues of it for Image. Now with that new company that Jeremy's part of, Ignition Press, they brought it back, obviously. But I'm really happy for him. I hope it gives the same kind of oomph to his comics. Like, certainly not to the level that Walking Dead did, but I certainly hope so. I certainly hope that people that are intrigued by this, because it really does complement the comic book series in a very positive way, but it's a different story. It's essentially a procedural that, because you're following a couple Interpol cops trying to get to the bottom of it and everything. But it's good. It's really, really good. So there you go. 2 positive things for me. Just neither called Star Trek. That's all.
Isn't there the police procedural called Three Bodies?
A new one?
On Netflix. Oh, it's an older. On Netflix or Amazon.
I watched Him and Her with John Bernthal. That's on Netflix. That's an
Oh, my wife was watching that. I've actually been watching The Hunting Party. I think that's on NBC. Which I'm late to. It's already in the second season, and I just put it on just to have something on, and now I'm finding I want to see what happens next. So I've been watching that.
What one irritates me? We're trying to watch. It's called Best Medicine. It's on Fox. It's about this big city doctor from like Boston, I think, goes up to Maine to a little rural area, and one of my Trificon guests is the sheriff on that show because I'm watching, going, that's Josh Segura. That was the guy that played Tug on She-Hulk. Remember there was that guy in the office, the lawyer, and he kind of knew where to go to the bathroom. He had like the map. That's the same actor. And I go, hey, that guy was at my show. But I think it's a ripoff of Northern Exposure. Obviously, the guy, the fish out of water.
I think it's based on an English show, isn't it?
Well, no. This week bothered me because they had a character who lived out in the woods who only comes down once in a while. And I'm listening to it in the next room, working on the computer. My wife's watching. I go, wait a minute. They've got a guy that lives out in the woods that only comes in around once. Is it like Adam from Northern Exposure that Adam Arkin played that everybody thought was Bigfoot, but it was really, he was a cook? And the guy, and I go to watch, and Sherman's like, oh, I couldn't take the big city anymore. I came out, and I'm throwing shit at the TV going, make up your own new goddamn stories. Don't go steal shit from Northern Exposure and call it your own. So anyway, that was my frustration this week. So.
Franco is right. It is based on a British show that was called Doc Martin and had 10 seasons on British television. It's the original is great. I like Josh Charles. I'm still watching Best Medicine. It's not, it's like when they tried to do Life on Mars on American TV. I tell. It's just not as good as the British one. Same with Coupling. Coupling was like the British version of Friends, and then American television tried to do an American version of Coupling. And it's like, no, you've already got one of these. What are you doing? So I didn't understand.
They did that with Being Human too.
Yes,
the British version was superior.
Yeah,
to
or
the American
Ghosts.
version.
I know Franco was a big fan of the original Ghosts.
Yeah, I like the British version a lot. Actually, and I like the American version of Ghost in the first couple of seasons, but then I don't know, it kind of petered out a little bit. But I throughout the entire British Ghost seasons, I like all 5.
Is that still on?
The
Ghost?
British season was only five seasons in England. The one here is still on, and they're currently in
And
the
it's-
middle of like their 5th season.
It's both versions are on Paramount, Mitch. If you want to
Yep.
watch it,
I thought it's not on CBS because I could have swore I see it on CBS.
the
Oh,
American
CBS
one is
Paramount,
on-
yeah.
the American one's on CBS and Paramount, but they've now added the British one as well.
gotcha.
So that's cool.
Yep.
Gotcha.
I haven't watched Hijack on Apple, Idris Elba's show, and I'm
That's
hearing
good.
good things. And I is it good?
Yeah, it's good. I see it because Shrinking came back this
Okay.
week with
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. That's really good.
Mhm.
That's laugh out loud funny, that one. And I see the ad for Hijack, and I say, oh, that's Idris Elba.
I got to see
What?
that Australian version.
Yeah.
Um,
No, he's always good.
Yeah,
He's Sir
and
Idris
Australian
Elba
goes.
now. He got knighted.
Yes,
did?
he is. I saw him on
Yeah.
Graham Norton talking about it.
who was this? I missed that. Who got knighted?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Knighted by the Queen. Did you like Royal Rumble?
Mario
Frank?
wants to know.
Yes, I did like the Royal Rumble, and there were some surprises in there. And I didn't win the pool that we run when we watch it here, and I lost $50. So I'm slightly upset about that, but it's okay. Everything's okay.
You didn't bet
It was
on
a good
Mr.
show.
Iguana?
Who?
I believe he's
Nesco?
pronounced. I believe he's pronounced Mr. Iggywana, as Wade Barrett calls him. Iggywana. Iguana. He calls him.
You know what's funny? I was on a radio show tonight. That's funny. But the thing of it is, the guy said, hey, did you notice there's no good science fiction out nowadays? And I go, what are you talking about? He goes, don't you remember in the 80s there was a lot? I go, bro, in the 80s, we didn't have all this streaming stuff and all this internet. I'm sure there's probably just the same amount of science fiction being written. You just don't have the time to go and read anything. And I said, when's the last time you read a book? He goes, oh, yeah. I go, what? Like, that's the oddest thing I've ever heard.
Was he talking about books or was he talking about TV?
No, books. We were talking about books. And he's like, oh, when's
no,
the last
he's
time you
not.
read a real good science
Yeah.
fiction? I go, who's reading nowadays? I mean, there's so much going on. I got no
Well,
time. I can't even read a
A bunch of
comic.
people are reading, yeah.
Yeah. I
Thankfully,
listen to
Hollywood is still reading. We're going to get Project Hail Mary this spring, and that's by the
Yeah.
guy that also wrote The Martian.
That looked good.
There's of course there's good sci-fi being written. Yeah,
I know. I was just like, that's
Fallout
the-
is still good. I've been enjoying Fallout season 2.
I've got a guy from Fallout coming to Terrificon on August 7th to the 9th here in Connecticut.
Walton Goggins?
No, it's
Kyle
the guy that's
MacLachlan?
been on Terminator, X-Files. He was on Star Trek,
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine a couple times. I got to look him up. He's a big dude. He's got like, I hate to say it, but he's got like real bad skin. He was the bad guy in Cobra. I think I've mentioned this before. That Stallone movie from the 80s. I'm looking his name up right now.
He's
Go
the
on.
alien
Okay.
bounty hunter in
Yes,
X-Files.
right. What's his name?
Don't know. I just know him as the alien bounty
But
hunter.
he's on Fallout, which people are telling me is
Yeah.
a real good show. You know.
Yeah, Fallout's good.
So there you
Yeah, I
go.
got to watch Fallout. I watched the first season and liked it. And
That's Kyle MacLachlan, right? Yeah.
yeah, so I gotta watch that. There's a bunch of stuff. I have a list here, and it's depressing because I add more shows to the list every day. Right here on my desk, there's a list of shows. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch these, and then I never get to any of them. But I have been watching old episodes of Barney Miller. So
What?
yay!
Barney Miller?
I loved Barney Miller back in the day, and I found them on Tubi, and I'm watching them, and everyone's
He's still alive.
Yeah,
Hal
Helen.
Linden. Yeah.
It's
It's
those
just like I'm
wardrobe-
watching The Survivors
Yeah.
on the Internet Archive, which was the old BBC, dealing with a pandemic that destroys the world's population except for a few number, and it's great. The acting's great. And I think I mentioned it last week. Terry Nation created it. So
Oh, the Dalek guy. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
Poor Damon Wilson died. Did you know Damon
Yeah.
Wilson's first name was Grady? And I'm like, wait a minute. Is that where the character's name was on Sanford and Son? It was Grady. But I'm like, wait, he had the real name was Grady? I don't know. It just-
Speaking of Barney Miller and Damon Wilson, do you remember when they did the new Odd Couple with Damon Wilson and I think it was
Yes.
Ron Glass, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
terrible.
Ron was Felix.
And I think
Yes.
wasn't that, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that during the writer's strike? So they actually
was.
just redid the exact same scripts
Yeah,
as the
they
original
did.
series.
That's right.
Yep.
No, Gary Marsh used to Dave Marshall used to make fun of him and go, "We wrote this for two middle-aged Jewish guys, and you got these young hip black guys talking like middle-aged Jewish guys."
Yeah, I remember that. Damon Wilson was on an interview saying, "Obviously, I cannot be Jack Klugman because I'm not a middle-aged Jewish man." I was like, "Yeah, that is kind of odd." I think they've redone the Odd Couple 3 times, haven't they? It was the original show, then that one, and then there was one with Matthew Perry that lasted like 2 seasons or so.
That's right. Yeah.
And Thomas Leonard.
Keep trying to redo that one. I don't know, man.
Well, it's kind of bulletproof material. The original play in the movie, they're bulletproof.
Yeah.
Unless you shoot it up full of hope.
B things.
B Things says, I'm watching the stream from the start. For your information, the Mark Oakland Klingon Dictionary from 1985 says that the S in Kronos is pronounced as a sh.
Oh.
So that's the guy who wrote the Klingon Dictionary. I stand corrected. Sorry.
Who
knew? They had a list.
There you go. It's like Data and Data. I was watching Riker and Spiner talk about on their show, dropping names, talking about Data and Data. And it's like, all right, well, and I guess Roddenberry's like, all right, whoever the first character to call him one or the other, that's what we're calling him. And it was Patrick Stewart saying Data.
Like Princess Leia and Princess Leia in Star Wars. It's like, pick one.
Hello.
Or Han and Han.
You know what I find amazing is that all these Hollywood people that are, William Riker's in all these Star Trek shows and he's directing stuff. How does he have time to do a podcast too? That's all I want to know.
I guess they just wrapped up production on the Big Bang spinoff with Stewart.
Oh, yes.
Stewart
and
Brian
Postane's, yes. That's on the. I think that's going on HBO, isn't it?
HBO
Max.
Paramount. And, it's HBO.
Is it HBO?
I heard it was HBO
because that's who owns them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I had no interest in watching this show really because I'm like, oh, what are they? They're going to just do more Big Bang Theory, but I liked Big Bang Theory, but the premise behind the show is that he actually screws things up and he's going through alternate dimensions.
Oh, really?
Trying to fix things. Yeah. So I'm like, whoa.
Oh, that's
so you're gonna get like versions of like people from the Big Bang Theory showing up, but you're gonna get like alternate versions of that.
Well, that's cool.
That's Doctor Who and Quantum Leap.
Yeah, I was gonna say Doctor Who. Yeah, that's clever.
Heinelin's book, the Book of Job, where the character's going through the multiple dimensions.
That's one of my favorite books. Yeah.
Oh, not that I read science fiction.
Yeah.
Well, you go call the other John on Pint of Comics and tell him there's good science fiction out there.
Stranger in a Strange Land is my other favorite book.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Yeah. Well, boys, we could finish. I think we've made our points.
It finally got warm down here. Figures.
I know, space heater, man. What the hell?
Oh my God, no! The garage.
All the plastic will melt
behind that wall. So whenever the wind blows, it goes through the garage into here, and I'm like, holy shit.
We'll go offline, end the show, and then come back on and start another one.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it again. I tried watching the Star Trek cartoons last week when I was home and the snow was outside. Yeah, I watched them once years ago. It's hard to go back to some of them,
What the Filmation animated series? The Filmation?
No. Yeah, the ones from the 70s. I mean, it's amazing that you got their original voices because I keep thinking what was going on behind the scenes. And I remember Shatner saying one time he was on the road in doing dinner theater and he recorded his lines in a bathroom somewhere.
Yep.
How much were they paying these guys at the time? It had to be like basic, what do you call it? Union rates, right? I don't think they were getting a lot of money.
Because Nimoy gave part of his salary so that they could get Sulu on. But they couldn't get
Tony.
Actually,
an episode.
It was both Nichelle Nichols and Sulu that they're like. He's like, if they're not on, I'm not doing it. And he wanted Koenig as well. They couldn't get Koenig, but they let him write an episode in the second season.
That's so weird.
So whatever, it is what it is. But no, you're right, Mitch. Most of them aren't really good. There's a couple though that are good, and of course. The great one is Yesteryear.
I was going to say the one with Spock. That was the only good one I remember when he goes back and his big pet doggy thing died and stuff.
And that's
that was like the first episode or something like that too, wasn't it?
That was the second, but you're right. You're close enough.
Yeah.
No, there's a triple episode David Gerald wrote. That's a good one too.
Yes, it was, and that was decent. And even I like the Harry Mudd episode.
More trouble with tribbles. More tribbles.
Mud.
More
Yeah, you got to
trouble,
think it's
more
only a
trouble.
25-minute kids cartoon, and the fact that it wasn't written down dumb to a kid's level. There
Not
was
at all.
decent science fiction for that show,
The animated show won a Peabody. I mean,
Did
that's
it
the thing,
really?
man. Yes, it did. Because again, guys, they had quality writers writing. Like it was during a live action strike, and so DC Fontana was the story editor, and she was going to Larry Niven and these other really good Samuel Peoples wrote for the animated series as well. So yeah, she was going for the top guys. Gerald again,
Did Harlan
because,
Ellison
they were
write
doing
one or not? No,
No, he did
Harlan
not for the
Ellison
animated show.
Okay, Asimov, nobody.
No, not Asma.
Well, before we head off, here's something.
Here's something.
Here's
Let's
something.
Something.
taking into account writers and Peabodys and all that crap. What would a Star Wars movie or TV show be like if Timothy Zahn wrote it?
That'd be amazing.
You mean like his 3 Thrawn?
Yeah, you already have them.
trilogy? Yeah, they're called the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah, no. It's just like you would think these Hollywood people would go, you know what? There's some books out there. Hey, let's get those guys. What was
why
it?
don't you make a cartoon out of it if you can't get actors? Just
Yeah.
animate the damn thing. That would be great.
But again, just it like John, like you're saying, the writing is that instead of trying to go to the latest teen drama writing group, writers room, how about you go to the guys that write the stuff? And again, it's the big thing.
I don't think Hollywood ever really does that, except for who wrote Jurassic Park? His name, I'm blanking on his name.
David Kemp.
Crichton.
Michael Crichton.
Crichton.
Michael Crichton. All those books that he wrote, and then ER, and then
Andromeda Strain.
and the other TV show, the other Westworld, he wrote and directed, and stuff like that. Like,
yep.
I don't think they do that with writers anymore. Really,
Like, think of the Batman the animated series. They tapped comic book writers for some of those episodes.
They did.
And to me, the best Batman series that has ever been produced is Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
Because the writing is sharp.
Bold statement, Wayne. Really getting unpopular.
Yeah, no. But the writing is sharp, and it got the characterization.
I'm teasing you.
Yeah, I know. It got the characterization of everybody.
You know what? Now that you say that, we all agreed Wonder Man. One thing we all did agree was Wonder Man was so well written. The acting was good. The characters were good. From a character that you didn't expect anything because he's basically a D class. Nobody gives a shit about Wonder Man. I'm sorry, but imagine the writer getting that assignment. Like you come up to somebody and you go, "Hey, listen, you're going to work for Marvel. Oh my God, do I get Spider-Man? No. Do you get X-Men? No. Do you get, anybody good? Captain America? No. You're getting Wonder Man. You're like, who? And if you say Wonder Man, I've said it to a couple of people. They go, oh, you mean like Wonder Woman? I'm like, no. I can see the confusion. Oh, Wonder Woman, this must be her counterpart, her husband, Wonder Man. So you're going in there already shooting blanks because people don't know who the character is. But the person that wrote it, are they free? They don't have any guidelines. They're like, do whatever you want to do with this. I mean, nobody cares.
So. I don't think so because Kevin Feige is like, up people's butts about stuff like that. Where we've had writers that have left because of their differences of opinion with Feige. So like, who's supposed to write the Ant-Man movie? Edgar
Wright. Yeah.
So that's a big name writer who wound up leaving and stuff like that. So
no, it's just curious because it came out so well, and I'm like, well, how did this happen? And then meanwhile, I watched Secret Invasion, where you got freaking Nick Fury and I couldn't wait for that. I was like, oh my God, Secret Invasion! You're gonna find out that the Skrulls are impersonating all these heroes and stuff. It was barely touched on, and the acting was crap. And they had great actors too. The British woman, I can't think of her name right now. Big award winner. Yeah. And even the one from the Game of Thrones was supposed to be good.
Emilia Clarke.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah,
it was crap. Yeah. I mean, I can never watch that again. I was like, oh, maybe Wonder Man. I go back and watch tomorrow. I can watch that over again.
But just like Tom King taking Mr. Miracle, Human Target, The Vision, and making these exceptional comic book stories.
That's true.
There's enough of a blank slate with Wonder Man that you could make something exceptional. And there are few preconceived notions. Also, Marvel has established that the MCU will have differences from the comics. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, I thought it was cute.
Yeah,
the old footage of the 80s. Go ahead.
Take into account that you talk to any number of movie people, and a whole bunch of things have to go right for something to be good. You need the writers, you need the actors, you need, it's a miracle that any movie gets made, let alone that any movie is good.
Yep.
No, I can't wait to see Tom King's Miracle Man. I don't know when that's coming out. I think it's soon. The animated Miracle Man show.
Yeah, not so. If it's this year, it's not till the fall.
Okay.
Because he talked about it, and also Lanterns that he co-created with Damon Lindelof and the guy that made Ozarks.
That'll be good.
So there's going to be some interesting stuff coming up.
Yeah, because Kyle Chandler's he's playing Hal Jordan. He's one of those actors. I used to watch him on a show with my grandmother, God rest her soul.
Early edition.
Homefront. No, Homefront.
Homefront.
It was set during World War II, and it was about the people that stayed home while the other guys went off to fight. And he was a baseball player, and his brother went off to war, and he ends up falling in love with his brother's wife or girlfriend or something like that. And it was almost like the Waltons kind of thing, like a homie, here's what's going on. And it went off the rails in the second season. But Kyle Chandler must have been like 19 or 20. He's just starting out. And I was like, something about certain actors, you just see him, you go, I'll watch that guy because he's got like a charisma about him too. He's like a Robert Urich. The shows might not last long, but he's still working after 40, 50 years because people like the guy. And you go, oh, Kyle Chandler, he's good. He's always dependable. He never does a bad performance. And as Hal Jordan, you're like, well, that's going to be an interesting take on the whole thing.
The same thing is Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion's another one's been around forever.
It's been around forever.
I sent you that picture of Frakes. What the hell was he in? It was like he looked like he was 12. He was so young looking. I was like, oh my God.
I saw an episode of Charlie's Angels today, and Tom Selleck was on it.
Really? Did he have a mustache?
No mustache.
Oh, wow. That's weird. Yeah.
You mean Indiana Jones, Tom Selleck?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
His autobiography is amazing. Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck?
Really interesting. Yeah, really interesting. Really interesting. And he really spends last year, like last summer, I think, or last spring. No, really good stuff about not only the obvious stuff like Magnum and the movies and stuff, but the early career. And like he talked about like making a movie in the Philippines that was
Terminal Island.
What?
The movie's called Terminal Island. It's fantastic.
I thought his first movie was Coma. He was one of the bodies in the background. I thought that was his first gig.
That's right.
Remember that movie Coma? That's another Michael Crichton story.
I was going to say Michael Crichton.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Don't forget Scott Turow. Also,
Scott Turow with all those.
Another big novelist that made it big in movies. Obviously, also Clancy and King.
Tom Clancy. Yeah.
Oh, so
there was a lot out there. Craziness. I guess that's
we diverted into authors, especially when your guy, whoever you were talking to.
Yeah, Sir John on Pine of Comics tonight. So there's no good science fiction. I'm like, I could go to Barnes & Noble tomorrow. I bet you I'd find 50 of them that are great.
Yeah, Rob Burnett would argue with the guy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rob pays attention to that stuff. Yeah.
How's your friend Burnett? Does he like the new Trek show?
Oh, he hates it. No,
he hates it. Oh, all right.
Yeah, of course he does.
So you and him get together and just like throw shit at the screen.
Star Trek bash.
Yeah, Star Wreck.
All I can say, boys, is I'm not alone in my opinions, and I
know you're not.
Yeah.
Well, no, but also
we live in a country where a lot of people have bad opinions, but they still keep going. But that's okay.
Don't get me wrong, there are the trolls, but I do think that my frustrations are distinct from the average trolls. I might be deluding myself.
Well, you have a show. They don't.
Well, the trolls have shows. They got shows.
Well, I don't watch them though. I only watch your show, Johnny, and about 50 other things on YouTube. Yeah,
there you go. Well, all right. Until next week, we'll see what episode 5 is like, guys, and we'll see if everything changes.
Super Bowl Sunday. No place else I'd rather be but here talking Star Trek.
Oh no, that's true. Should we? All right. We'll make it.
Can we do it on Monday? Because I'll be at a Super Bowl party. I'm not going to be.
Yeah, no. Yeah, everyone's going to
watch. Imagine how awkward that would be. all my cop buddies, hey, can I leave?
Yeah,
I gotta go
yeah.
talk about Star Trek. They'll be like, what? You can hear a pin drop.
Monday.
I
We'll play Monday.
Johnny not to do.
All right, boys. We'll talk.
All
Take
right.
it easy, everybody.
Look at